Yes, you guys, you see it right there. I have my own Teespring store. We got some really good deals. All t-shirts are affordable. We got something from men, women, and kids. We even got some mugs and iPhone cases. So you guys definitely check out the Teespring store. The link will be in the description of this video. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Giorgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I am back with another wrestling review just for you guys, or for those of you on my channel who may like wrestling. I had to do one, this is the debut episode of WWE Smackdown on Fox, and it was very electrifying, should I say. The show started off really strong. We had Becky Lynch in the ring. Her and Baron Corbin were going at it, veering amongst each other. Baron Corbin, who's now the king of the ring. He's really letting that go to his head. And, Becky Lynch was like, nah, I'm not finna let you come out here and act a stupid idiot. And then, of course, Baron Corbin, he says he's going to stop Becky Lynch. And she says, okay, if you come in that ring, it'll be the last thing you do. And then that's when the rock music hits. And he comes out there just cutting the great promos that we know he can do. And it was just very hilarious. If you guys haven't saw it, I don't know how you could miss this. Definitely go on the WWE YouTube channel. They're going to have the footage and everything. Or you can just type it in on YouTube where you can have the full unedited footage. Because on the WWE YouTube channel, they kind of heavily edit some things. But it was a really good segment with The Rock. And let's talk about the set. Like, the design set for this show is crazy. It's really huge. It looked like a pay-per-view set. I swear, dude, the Smackdown set tonight looks better than any WWE pay-per-view set that they've done, besides WrestleMania, and of course the Saudi Arabia shows that they do. But they did an excellent job on preparing that and getting it all together. And I was very pleased. A lot of the big stars had the pyro, and it was definitely off the charts. And I really liked it. I think they did an excellent job. And with WWE having SmackDown on Fox, they gotta come with it, man, because Fox want them big ratings. Fox ain't gonna have, especially under their Fox Sports brand, they're not gonna have anything that's getting low ratings. So WWE gotta come with it with these crazy storylines, and they definitely did tonight. And you know what? Let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about what just happened, and that was Brock Lesnar defeats Kofi Kingston with an L5 in seconds. It's like as soon as the bell rang, Kofi Kingston ran towards Brock Lesnar, which was not the best strategy, and he ran right into an F5, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. He didn't kick out. Nothing. It was like, dang. They totally killed off Kofi's title run, dude. Like, man, they made it seem like he was just weak. He basically jobbed the Brock Lesnar here tonight. And I know a lot of fans are going to be pissed about that. Obviously they are. It definitely shocked me. But I knew this match was going to probably be kind of short because, because it was almost 9 o'clock. I'm on Central Time. So it was like 8:40 something when the match was, when they was making their entrances and stuff. So it was getting really, really crazy. And, I was like, oh man, this match is gonna be short, and it was shorter than what I thought. But you know what? I kind of had a feeling that Brock Lesnar was gonna beat Kofi Kingston. I just knew it. They're not gonna have Brock Lesnar come on there and on the debut episode of SmackDown on the Fox Network and not have him as the champ. They're just not. And it definitely happened. And yeah, I know some people on Twitter are really fuming right now. But that wasn't the best. That wasn't just the best part. There's more. We had Cain Velasquez And I hope I said his last name right. We had Kane, who's a great UFC fighter. And this was the guy, Cain Velasquez was the dude that gave Brock Lesnar so much problems in the UFC. He beat the hell out of Brock Lesnar when Brock Lesnar was in the UFC. So when Cain Velasquez came out there with Rey Mysterio tonight, Brock Lesnar had that shocked, scared look on his face because he knows how dangerous Cain Velasquez is. In a real fight, Brock Lesnar could not defeat Kane, he just could not. And this is gonna be interesting because I guess Cain Velasquez is a full-time or at least part-time WWE superstar now, and this is a big money match right here. And if you're WWE, you gotta play this off right. You got to book this very well. There's a lot of money to be made with this matchup right here. I don't know if it's going to be an MMA style matchup. I don't know if it's going to be a normal pro wrestler match. I did hear that Cain Velasquez had a match, a wrestling match somewhere. I think in Mexico or overseas or something. I'm not sure. I know some of you guys who follow, MMA fighters and stuff like that are... I'm sure my friend Ricky, he probably knows about what happened with that. But Cain Velasquez has been preparing for his pro wrestling, career. So, yeah, that's a big shocker. I had a feeling that somebody was going to make a debut. Somebody, either a past star was going to return, or we was going to see somebody new debut on Smackdown, because it was just too big of a show for them to not have a debut. What I thought personally about being Kofi, like I said, I knew it was coming. I hate to say it, but I knew Brock Lesnar was going to beat Kofi Kingston. And I just didn't expect them to job Kofi out to Brock. But, hey, it is what it is, If you guys don't like it, just don't watch it. That's the simplest thing I can say to you about that. And there's other things on the show to look forward to. And let's go into some other stuff on here. Obviously after the Rock segment with Becky and Baron Corbin, or King Corbin, we had what did we have? We had Charlotte and Becky team up to face Sasha Banks and Bayley, in which Charlotte was able to beat. She was able to pin Bayley with the figure 8 leg lock. It was a decent matchup. They had Trish Stratus and Lita out there in the crowd, which was really cool. I liked seeing those two anytime on there. And, it was a decent match. We basically really got to see Charlotte do all her stuff. Becky, she had her big moment already, I believe, with The Rock. So that match was basically for Charlotte to kind of put the shine on Charlotte there. Do I think Charlotte's going to beat Bayley? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, honestly, I hope that we see some new women come and step up and challenge for these titles, because Charlotte's already been in numerous title matches. We've seen, as far as Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, personally, I think Sasha Banks should win that matchup, but I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't win. Who knows? But if it's me booking, if it's my choice, Sasha wins. You don't have to have this big return and have her lose. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think should happen there. And of course, during this show, we had some other legends. We had Kurt Angle and Mick Foley. We had, which they was there for the Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura matchup. And, it was okay matchup. It was basically to help promote the match with Seth Rollins and The Fiend Bray Wyatt, which we did see the Firefly Playhouse, or whatever you want to call it. I think it's the Fun House. I get them mixed up sometimes. But, yeah, we saw a little, crazy, scary promo from Bray Wyatt. And then, of course, during that matchup with Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura, we saw The Fiend show up. Except he didn't show up in the ring. He didn't show up ringside. They showed Seth at the ramp, and then of course the Fiend was behind him, and he came and put the mandible claw on Seth Rollins, and then threw him through a table. Now, honestly, you guys, I don't know. The Fiend has been really booked strong during this whole thing. I don't know if we're gonna see him win at the pay-per-view Hell in a Cell. I mean, who knows how that's gonna go? I mean, if they listen, if they make Kofi Kingston lose easily to Brock Lesnar, then I don't know what they're gonna do with Seth Rollins. If it's me though, I would like to see the Fiend win. I mean, you don't want him to pretty much lose his second matchup on the show. I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, how can you have him lose and have him still looking strong? I do know that, the Fiend Bray Wyatt has been booked really strong going into this matchup. So it depends on how he loses, if he does. If he loses in a really bad way that makes him look weak, then it's not going to be good for his character. Now, if he does lose and he does most of the offense in the matchup, then I don't think that the loss will hurt, Bray Wyatt in that regard. But I'm kind of tired of Seth being the champion. I think a lot of people are ready for a new Universal Champion. And Seth already had that opportunity. Bray Wyatt deserves that big opportunity. And I think he can make it happen with this character. And, of course, we had this 6-man, tag team matchup. I think it was a 6-man. Looked like that was a 4-man tag team matchup where we had Randy Orton, AJ Styles, I think the Rival versus Heavy Machinery, The Miz, and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, he has some new red ring tights, or ring pants. I wasn't really feeling those. It just didn't look right, Of course, I think I'm trying to remember who won. I'm still thinking about what happened at the end of the show. But Randy Orton them team had won. So, and then they had one of the pro boxers, the undisputed heavyweight boxing champion. I forgot his name. You guys who watched it, I'm pretty sure you can let me know who that was. Because I know what he looks like, but I don't watch boxing like that. But they had him and Braun kind of interact with each other, so I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna have those two get into it and have some kind of inter-promotional type of matchup soon. So that was pretty interesting. You saw the boxer guy get over the barricade and everything. So I don't know. At least I think. Man, I have to go back and check that out just to see, I'm still like in excitement mode after all the other stuff that we've seen. But for 2 hours, I would say that this was a really good SmackDown. I know some people are probably not going to be happy, with Kofi losing in the way that he did. But obviously there was a bigger picture there with Kofi's loss to Lesnar, because now I guess they wanted to make Lesnar look really, really strong if he's going to be facing Cain Velasquez right now, for that world title. Will we see a new world title, new SmackDown world title? We probably could one day. If you really want SmackDown to stand out from Raw and NXT, you definitely got to go that route too eventually. And but yeah, I thought it was a really good show. They skipped the entrances for that 8-man tag team matchup or whatever. I guess because time was running short, so the show's on 2 hours. But other than that, I thought it was a really good show. They did everything that they could possibly do, and it was perfect on a Friday night. You don't leave watching the show feeling tired, and it didn't drag on. It was perfect. And I think if Monday Night Raw was 2 hours, that would really help that show in terms of quality, in terms of, fans staying excited, because it gives them something to look forward to. The 3-hour format for weekly wrestling shows is a bad idea. They don't need to do that if you're WWE. So yeah, you guys, I thought it was cool. It was a great show. If you can, DVR it or try to watch the replay if you haven't. I appreciate you guys who were watching this, and let me know in the comment section below what was your favorite moments from this show. Not a pay-per-view. It felt like a pay-per-view in some cases, with the quality of matchups. Oh, I forgot. We gotta talk about the Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens matchup. My goodness, where are my manners? Man, I'm so hyped up from the other stuff. I forgot about that. Well, technically I didn't forget because now I'm talking about it. That was a pretty good ladder match. We saw Shane do his signature elbow drop from the top rope through the announcer's table on Kevin Owens. We saw them beat the hell out of each other, with the ladders. Shane hit the coast to coast on Kevin Owens, hitting, the ladder in Kevin Owens' face. And then we saw Kevin Owens hit this vicious frog splash before all of that on Shane McMahon, which broke the ladder. And then it was crazy. And then after, Kevin Owens won the match, he told Shane McMahon, "You're fired," because if Kevin Owens wins the match, that means Shane McMahon will be gone. And if Shane McMahon wins, then Kevin Owens will be gone. So Kevin Owens, he told Shane McMahon, "You're fired," after winning the match. And he hit Shane McMahon with a Stone Cold Stunner. That's what it was. So I really enjoyed that matchup. I thought that was a really good matchup too. I really don't have much to complain about from this show, to be honest with you. I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. If WWE can keep this momentum up and just keep the fans interested and captivated and get our input, actually reply to our tweets and feedback for this show, it can be better each and every week. And especially on a Friday night. But anyways, thank you all for watching this video on the weekend, on a Friday night. Wherever you may visit my channel, make sure you hit the notification bell and hit the like button. Share these videos that I'm doing so more people can see this channel, because I can't grow this channel without you guys' help. And I can only do what I can, But this is Giorgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I will catch you next time in the comment section below. Peace out.